up? What up? Welcome to another episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. Do me a favor, leave a like in the comments, subscribe, leave a like, leave a like. Just let me know what you think as I continue to grow and build this platform locally and across the world for everybody to kind of listen to and hone in, man. Tonight, appreciate these young ladies for being guests on my show. Also, just to make it clear, these are the first group of high schoolers in the local area that are on the show, and I'm gonna do a little different tonight. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, and but also again for me to them, thank you for being here. Thank you to Team Militant for lending me some of these girls right now, but also the schools. I know their parents. Thank you for letting them come tonight because they got school tomorrow. Right, so we're gonna go from my right back to my left with the intro. Starting my left with Leah. How you doing?
I'm Leah. I'm a 2024. I go to Christian Brothers High School. I played on Team Militant 16U GUAA team last year, and I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you, thank you. And to my left,
Hello, I'm Tamari Rumph, class of 2023. I attend Franklin High School. I play for Team Militant 17U team, and I'm excited to be here.
one more to the left.
My name is Kaylee Edge. I'm a 2022. I go to Salesian College Prep in Richmond, and I played on Team Militant 17U, and I'm also excited to be here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, as you ladies know, definitely playing with Team Militant and some of your high school programs, 94 feet. We jump right into things, right? So, we're going to pick up full steam ahead. And I'm going to jump right into it, though, because I mean, for me, this is the first time probably getting in depth with all you ladies about conversation about where your basketball origins kind of started and where they came from. So, right now, I'm going to go with our local Sac State commit to start us off. Kay, just basketball for you, what age did it start with, and how serious about it were you?
Well, I was in the fourth grade. I just moved from North Carolina over to California. My mom kind of needed a sport to throw me in, so she threw me into basketball. And at first it was just a rec league, but I fell in love with it, and then I got connected with some great people who kind of just helped me take my game further, and I just fell in love with it. So
That's what's up. Mari,
For me, I would say it was about like sixth grade. I ran track, so
I
like
do remember that.
when I started basketball, I wasn't good. I was just hecka fast. I was able to stay in front of everybody, and like not being the best player on the team was more of the motivation for me. And well, my mom and dad, they're a big support system. And my mom was like a hooper, so it kind of is in the genes.
Yeah,
And she's like my motivation because she had me at a young age. So she's like, I'm trying to fulfill her shoes.
that's what's up. Leah,
For me, I was just always around sports. My dad, he worked in the NBA with the Kings, and so from the point I was like 5, I was just always around it. I was one of those kids that played every single sport, whatever was in season, and I picked flowers during soccer, and basketball was the only one I was really interested in. So ever since I was 4, I just have stuck with it.
that's what's up. That's I definitely. I guess out of the two, well, Mari too, knowing her people and her pops went to high school together, of course. I have seen your development over the years for sure. I'll start with you. Go the other way. Just early on, who are some of the influences in your life as far as sports or basketball in general? A couple people who you made it looked up to or wanted to mimic your game after.
I mean, there's a ton of people, whether it's my parents just for giving me the opportunity and teaching me how to push myself, or my trainers. I think one that's always going to stand out and have a place close to my heart is Coach Chantel, Coach Telly. She took on a big sister role for
Oh,
me since I was like 8 years old, and she's always been there. She moved, but I still call
right.
her all the time, whether
Dope.
I just need to talk or things like that. So I think she definitely had a big influence on me falling in love with basketball. And then on a pro level, I really looked up to Skylar Diggins and how she plays and her pace for the game. And so I think players like that also kept me interested.
That's what's up. Okay. Shout out to Coach Taylor. I do know her too. Definitely good influence. Mari, what's up?
Like Leah said, my parents were making it able for me to play because basketball is not a cheap sport. And just,
Facts.
the transportation and everything, getting the tournaments when you used to play in the Bay Area, my mom and dad like taking off work to make it there. And I would say a big person that helped me a lot was Coach D because I came from a situation where it was kind of
Mhm.
like I wasn't in the best situation when I came to Coach D. And it took like a lot of confidence and for someone who believed in me, like as a coach when
Right.
you come from like a coach who's just negative and nothing was ever good enough. So Coach D like helped me get back to myself.
That's what's up. Okay.
definitely my mom. Like she sacrificed a lot for me to be like in the position I am today. with basketball and everything. And then like on the pro level, I definitely look up to LeBron James. I know people either love him or hate him,
Yeah.
but I just love his game. I love the way he plays. And then who got me to fall in love with basketball would probably have to be my CYO coach.
Okay.
He actually has his own gym in Concord, Elevate. I don't know if y'all
Yeah.
heard of it. But he kind of helped me fall in love with the game, and I'm super thankful for that. So
So first thing, you guys gave props to your parents. That's a lot of respect. Because without them, nothing is possible, or anybody, all of us, right? We all have parents, but that's a dope thing. Um, you guys are in an era now, like I said, you guys get to train, you guys get to get around the gym, you guys get to go work out, practice, and go train again, or get some of the gym access, right? And I asked a lot of my all my guests this as far as in the area expertise though. Mario, I'll start with you. How many hours would you say you clock working on your craft? Because I've been told that to master a craft, or we've been documented that people need to get at least up to 10,000. But right now, on it, just give me the daily basis. How many hours a day do you put in working on your craft?
Every day is a different day because some days I have school ball. So when I have school practice, it's like a lot of weight training, a lot of open conditioning. And when we're not there, me and Coach
Hmm.
D at the park working. So whenever days I'm not at basketball practice, I'm somewhere with Coach D working. If I'm not with Coach D, I'm somewhere at the park doing me or just yeah.
Getting outside. Very that's rare, but that's a good thing that I mean, that comes from the background too, and the upbringing. Getting outside is okay. Leah, what about you? How many hours you clock? I know you clock some major hours.
I mean, basically for me, if I'm not at school, then I'm somewhere in the gym. Um, my day starts around 5 o'clock. I wake
Okay,
up, I go to the gym before school, come home, shower. I have school, weight training, conditioning, whatever that might be. And then even some days after that, I'll have training after or practice after that.
that's what's up. Okay,
I'm with Leah. Like I wake up at 4:30, damn near. Ooh, can I
you
cuss?
good?
Oh.
Yeah, you good.
uh,
You're the older one in the group. You're the older one in the group. You're the young adult right here. You good?
yeah, but I'm up at 4:30, damn near every day, working with my strength and conditioning trainer just
Yeah,
to get right, and then I go to school. You know, I have my school practices after school. We're back to 5 days a week now, so we're going every day after school, and then even after that, I'll either go to like just shoot around or go to training
that's what's
like
up.
at night.
So
So
I want to make sure that people see your face. When your mic, move it to your left a little bit, but turn the microphone in. 'Cause I want to make sure they get to see you. You can turn that way, not turn the mic. There we go. There you go. Make sure that people see your face. I don't want your mom seeing me. You see my baby face. But at this age, right? For you, again, I believe it's a rare breed. Everybody doesn't do that. Anybody can answer this question. What motivates you to do the what people aren't doing and get up early and do extra work and put in extra work and still have to go to school, still go to take your schoolwork and then put extra work in on your craft again? Not a particular order, anybody can answer though, but what motivates you to do that? Because some people won't do it, and that's why they're in the position where they're at today. They just won't do it. What makes you the other side of the spectrum?
for me, it's all the people who told me I'm not going to be good enough.
Hmm.
Like, I've had people tell me all my life, like, I'm slow, like, you know, you're not going to do well in the college level. And then not just that, but I want to prove to the people who did believe in me, like, that they have a reason to believe in me. So that's what keeps me going.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's all my younger, whether it's my younger siblings, my younger cousins. Just I know that I have people that look up to me and want to see me be successful, and just so I could prove to them that it's possible. Whether I'm hanging out with Renee or Maya or Nia, I know they'll be heck excited to hear their names. Um,
Got to give a shout out to the people.
they'll always look up to me, and I think just being able to show them that whatever you put your mind to is possible, but you got to work for it.
That's what's up.
I would say motivation is this generation. It's not many kids that like find being successful and going to school like a good thing. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like when you're just looking at the like out in the inside and out, it's kind of like when you're the different kid, you kind of stand out. And I would say something that motivates me too is my family, because you know a lot of just putting on for your family is number one. Because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
my family was close to making it and didn't make it all the way there, so I just feel like putting on for them and just making them proud is a motivation.
I love it. I love it. I mean, that's definitely some heartfelt shouts. Again, all the people, the doubters, the haters, but also the support system, right? Because without those, we aren't who we are today. But it shapes you young ladies to your future, which is good, right? You know, put it on your back. You know what I'm saying? But handle it well. You guys been handling well. I mean, since I've been coming across you guys, you're handling your business. Um, let's talk this crazy AAU circuit a little bit, and just the vibe that goes on at AAU, the different opportunities you have, good, bad, whatever it is, though. But let's just talk, last summer or last spring, COVID hits, all that stuff. Going into the spring when you guys are getting ready to ramp up, the opportunity to play with Team Militant comes about. Um, on this show, we love to keep it 100 or they keep it 1K. So starting out initially, what was your ideal thing as far as stepping onto the court or trying out or making the team and with the team? What was your thought process at that time?
I mean, for me, it's always come out there with the mentality of I'm gonna eat regardless whoever's in front of me. So it was that, and then being able to have the opportunity to play on like a national level really like pushed me to work hard in that little break period that we had where it was tryouts. So I think for me that was like the number one thing. I was really excited to have the opportunity of not only just a team, but a team like in my hometown that was gonna be able to be put on that national circuit.
That's what's up.
I would say for this upcoming season, for me, it was more of just helping other like the younger ones and the ones coming because I've been playing with Coach D for like previous years before that. So my thing in Coach D was just like being a leader, and that's what helped me learn because I was the baby of the team last year and years before. So now it's coming into a situation where I was one of the older ones now. So it was just like leading, and for AAU, it pushes you to a different level because when you leave and most of our tournaments are in the East Coast, so you see all this different talent and you see that it's different going otherwhere. So it makes you want to work a little harder
Hmm.
and not take advantage of what the competition you play when you're at home because when you
Yep.
go out there, it's no joke.
Yeah, definitely different.
Mhm. For me, like I didn't even know I was gonna be playing on Team Militant until like right when Coach D called me. I was at another team in the Bay Area and we were kind of at a standstill because of the whole COVID spot
Okay.
situation. And then Coach D kind of reached out to me, and at first I was like, but then like what I love about the team is that it's like honest. It's 100% like right away I was on a Zoom call with the players asking them, not just Coach D, because coaches could
So you're
beat
getting a
around the bush.
feel for, but from teammates potentially about what's going on.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then right away, like we were going with the season and stuff, and going into that season, I wanted to prove myself, especially because I haven't been playing. I
Hmm.
didn't play AAU for that short period of time when the COVID hit,
Okay.
because that team was at a standstill. But yeah, I just came into that season ready to prove myself to coaches, to people in my city, like everyone. So um, and wanted to help the younger girls too. So
Because you definitely were in the elder statesman of the team, but also the
yeah.
new face, right? So it's kind of double
Mhm.
duty. Um, and again, anybody can answer this one. Just initially, it's not always how you start; it's how you finish.
Mhm.
Somebody give me a little bit of summaries about how they're started with their team, but how they finish with their team. Because again, some people don't show the failures on social media, on the whatever, right? We see the highlight reels. I see you they get all y'all flexing. I see her flexing on somebody. I'm like, it ain't always been that easy though. It ain't always been that good. You had to take some lumps early on, which I know about, but it's good for me to see the end product, right? You stick around, you don't leave, y'all build, y'all work through adversities, right? On here, I love talking adversities, right? It's not gonna be easy for you. If you can make it through certain things, it builds character, but also your teammates can get rock with you. You know what I mean? This she don't stick around, she rocking, coach rocking, I'm rocking. But give me a couple of summaries about how I started it, a couple of tournaments versus how I finished for you guys. Anybody?
Could
Uh,
start on the half of 16U.
Go ahead.
I mean, we went to Alabama was our first UA stop, and all the way leading up to there, everybody was saying the circuit is real, the circuit is real.
Mhm.
Don't take it for a joke. And we were all
Yeah.
like, I mean, when it's AAU, you're all that guy on your high school team. You're all used to being the best player. And so it's just like, yeah, all right, like we're stacked. Nobody's beating us. And we came into Alabama and we didn't win a game. Like it was I cried almost every night that we came back to our hotel room because
Yeah.
we just like we were getting blown out left and right. And I know I mean, I learned a lot from that from the beginning to the end, but in the moment I was ready to I was like, I'm over it. Like I don't
Hmm.
this isn't what I signed up for. Like,
Right.
and so I think that it was just a different level of competition on the circuit. Like you're
Hmm.
playing girls that are really, this is really their life just as much as it is your life. Out here, you're the different kid, but it's a gym full of 500 different
Hungry.
kids.
Love it. That's yeah. How did it finish though? How did it turn around? Because I saw you guys putting the work. I saw you stick it out, even though it wasn't right, or it was rocky. But then what about the finished product?
We came home after Alabama, and we all as a team put like our little statements in the group chat, like we're dedicated to this, like we're gonna work. We went through heck of training camps, and I mean by the end we were competing, we were holding our own, and we even earned some respect from it.
That's dope. So I mean, again, so that just gives you a taste. Basically, you got your feet wet. But then now going into it next year, you'll know what to expect or how to go at it, how to tackle it. But I think the big thing is you guys stuck with it together.
Yeah.
You know, what I mean, that's just some people do leave and run for certain things, and they think sign up with means it's going to be good always, which is not right. But kudos to you guys, and you know what I mean, sticking it out and going from there. So at 16, like I said, it's you learn on the go, right? You got to learn, build camaraderie. What about the old heads over here, the upper statesmen?
We was in
Right.
the same boat.
Yeah. We was in the same exact boat. I think
Yeah,
our
What? Oh
situations was
God.
different though because it wasn't that we couldn't beat the teams. We just beat ourselves. And a lot of it was chemistry because that was our first year all of us being together. And then it was like going into Alabama, all them girls been playing before us. So they
yeah,
kind of had to feel for it. It was our first tournament. And
yeah.
it's not that we didn't prepare. I think we weren't
But
ready.
that reality set in. You gotta get it
It was
together.
Yeah.
mental.
It was
Yeah, it
tough.
was definitely
Mhm.
mental because I mean, it was times where like I just wanted to like who wants to lose every game? But I
Right.
mean, it
Yeah,
it was
it's
it
true.
wasn't it
Yeah.
wasn't fun, but I feel like at the same time it taught me a lot. It taught everybody a lot on the team because we literally lost every single game and we still had colleges contacting us as in like you guys played thinking that we played good.
Mm-hmm.
So we all kind of confused. Like we came in here, lost every game, and people walked away with offers. People walked away with interest.
Right.
So I feel like one thing that taught me was even if you do lose every game, as long as you have to be recruitable. Like once the scoreboard is just
Mm-hmm.
out of control, or you know it's like there's no comeback, now you just plan to be recruited because they're not looking at the score or the clock anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that was a big thing for us because it helped us a lot. It was a reality check for everybody who felt like they were better than the next person because we went down there and played people that could do what we could do, maybe even better.
It was humbling a little bit.
Yeah, it humbled a lot of people. It humbled me, and I know it humbled everybody else because the next time we came, we made a mark. We came in there, nobody expected us to do good anyways. So our response to the next tournament, we came in and did much better. So I feel like that tournament was good for us. It wasn't good, but it was like a good reality check for our team.
Well, because we were going out there, we were losing every game, but we weren't just getting like pushed around either. Like
Right.
we played every game to the end. I feel like we weren't quitting on ourselves. Like we were still making a name for ourselves as like a hard nosed team. I feel like, and that's why a lot of us came out of it with college interests, some with offers.
Mhm.
That's
I
what's up.
mean, when we played FBC, like they're like the number one team in the country at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and we just came in like dogs. Like
Mhm.
Mari was all up on everyone. Like I was shooting. Like we just played like we had nothing to lose at that point. I mean, we really didn't. We didn't
Yeah,
have anything to lose, only stuff to prove.
that's
So
what's up. And that's not a bad thing to play with the chip on your shoulder, especially you gotta have to right. And that those circuits is like that too, right? You have to play with that chip. If not, you're wasting your time going because it's not gonna be worth it. Um, Kay, I'm gonna start from you. I ask you though, just your passion for the game as far as like how you play it, your fire inside. Is that something you think is natural for you, or somebody gave it to you? Who's responsible for that?
I think it was natural, but I think it was kind of like hidden, because I wasn't playing for the right reasons. But
Mm-hmm.
I surrounded myself with people that have like really pushed me, and I really like developed that love and passion for it. Like especially like coming to Team Militant.
Mm-hmm.
Like before I was on Team Militant, I wasn't really taking care of what I needed to take care of, like health wise,
It's
things I needed to
important.
work on. And I think that like Team Militant like really helped. Like if I'm being honest, I'm not the best defensive player. They know Mari
Go ahead.
be
Hey,
dusting me in
be true. Hey,
practice.
keep it real. It's all right. Keep it 100.
But
It's your teammate.
like in Team Militant, like I don't know, like I wanted to get better at defense, which was something I never really like wanted to do before.
Right.
Like I said it, but I never really had
Passion.
that passion
Right.
for it. And like being with Team Militant, like I just got that passion to just be better, like be a better version of myself. And like with my trainer and stuff like that, like my sports, my strength and conditioning trainer, X,
Okay.
like that was a big part of like my passion for like wanting to get in the gym. Like now I'm up at training at 5 in the morning, you know.
Dope.
Um and like I would have been like, no, I want to sleep in. Now I want to like I be texting him like we going at 5:30,
That's
and
what's up.
he's the one dragging now. So,
That's what's up. That's what's up.
but no, like just the people I've surrounded myself with have kind of helped me really tap into that passion I've always
That's
had
dope.
for the game, you know.
That's dope. Mari?
I would say the passion for me have always been there. Like it's not just my passion in basketball, just my whole passion and perspective on life. Like
Okay.
I always want to be the best I could be, and I feel like for basketball, what really made my passion different was everybody always telling me you're too small. Like I defined the odds. Like
Yeah,
just so
I feel it.
for me being saying for everybody telling me I was too small, it just brought the dog out of me. So my
That's what's
passion
up.
is different than a lot of people. Like Leah understanding because we small
Yeah,
guards, so we
yeah.
have to have that dog in us. And
Yeah,
my passion, it really for basketball, it comes from defense.
yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure.
For me, I think it all started. It started in my work ethic. Whether it was in the first grade, I
Hmm.
wanted to read the book the fastest. I wanted to finish the test
She
fastest.
had to be the best.
Yeah, like I just wanted to be the best in everything,
That's
and
what's up.
so I think that transferred over into basketball. I watched my mom and my dad really like they worked hard at everything they do. Like whether it's getting me and my brother from practice to school, back to the school, back home, and like just there are chauffeurs sometimes like they work hard, and so
Yep.
it's like a passion of I have to work hard just as hard as them because they're just as invested in my dream as I am invested in my dream, and so I think it all started with really my work ethic and just I fell in love with more of the process. And I think that I have to thank the people around me for that, for falling in love with the process more than the result.
Hmm. Super dope, man. It's good to hear. We mentioned size, right? Even Kay, you mentioned not playing defense. So, Mari, I'm actually this first because I've seen you definitely hear people definitely say the label of the smallness, but also the opposite, where Jesus, she's out there going crazy. How does it make you feel when you can change the game at your size and athleticism and make an impact game in and game out? Since you've been doing this thing, you've been doing this for a while. This ain't new to you. You've been doing this for years. Now on the basketball court, though, but how does that make you feel when you be able to really put your stamp on the game?
It make me feel better now because at first, like eighth grade, everybody always said she was too small. Like she has to get bigger in order to go play college D1. And then now you hear them like saying like everybody like you defined the odds. It was definitely a change. I feel like it gave me a different spunk too. For everybody telling me I was too small, and now everybody's saying like she's out there like I defined the odds. So it gave me a different spark for sure.
That's what's up. Okay, what about you? Because I know I've been in a practice, I've been in a gym where shoot the ball. You better shoot the ball. Your job is to shoot the ball too, but also now, okay, now you got a D up. Like now you
Mhm.
say so now, but when you had to make an impact, either scoring or defense, especially something that you said was a weakness, but you've now changed it. But also, it's contagious because when you're playing with somebody like this, you gotta have her back or you gotta rotate when ready. What about you? How does that make you feel? Or when you get hot? Because I mean, you can put them up quick.
I mean, shit, I love getting hot because then I'll be playing defense.
ball go,
Oh yeah,
the
oh
ball
God,
goes
that
in, right?
oh Kay hit like I was like five threes in the game, and she had like five steals right at one
Uh
point. And we like, oh Kay, she hitting
oh.
threes,
She
picking up
getting the
full
ball to shoot
court.
it for herself. She
I'm
said, I'm
Right.
like,
getting this
oh
steal.
God.
So that's what's up.
But
So,
shit, it just makes me feel good. Like I can help out my teammates. Like being able to just take my game more from just being the shooter.
hmm
You know, being able to drive, being able to play
three
defense,
level
being able
school
to read.
both ways.
You know, like like I just want to help my team at the end of the day. So being able to do that, that's all I'm really here for. You know.
That's what's up.
I got the same thing that Mari has. Really too short or too small. I think really I took that in like seventh grade,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when I started getting in the weight room. And by the way, I see Mari in the weight room
Uh
now.
oh,
Yeah,
Mari.
you know we got to
Period.
get big.
Period. But I started getting in the weight room, and that's when
Okay.
I really got my speed on point with Playmakers Elite. That's Mike. That's Gabe.
Yeah, you live in
So
there. I know. You might as well just get a bed now. Wake up. She got playmakers. There you go.
so really just getting in on my speed and my strength so that I have the advantage. Like you could be 6'1", but you're not beating me up the court. And so really just finding your strengths and being able to say, I know I might be small, but I'm still impacting the game.
That's super dope. Like I said, it's so relatable. Like I said, I wasn't the highest skill set dude either, small, but you ladies are doing it, and it's important that you. I'm glad you found it early, right? So now you can keep building on it. So as we transition right now, everything goes well. God willing, we get to play your senior season, and you guys will you'll get your junior now, senior, Mari.
Junior.
Jesus, okay, in sophomore season, right? So junior, sophomore, senior season. Um, based upon the first year, if you guys got games in last year, whatever, in summertime, Leah, start with you. Just give me some things that you want to improve on or work on going into this potential high school season, where you can be an even better impact and contribute to your local Christian Brothers high school team.
Being the voice of reason for my teammates, being a real true leader for them. We got some dogs coming in with Jada, Leah, Kaya, Janae, So just really being able to be a true point guard and lead them through the way to hopefully get back to sections this year.
That's what's up. So also shout out to former 2000 graduate Coach Foster. And for her, I know that hits home. That's her school. That she's coaching at her school. But also she's a fiery player.
Uh-huh.
So how do you guys mesh with the energy level and the because it's very similar if I think about it, I mean, even though the size difference, you guys resemble each other a lot, passion for the game.
Playing for Coach Shan is like playing for another version of myself. You see in all of the highlight videos. You could go back and check me on this. When I hit a three, Coach
Oh yeah,
Shannon
she jumping it.
she on the sideline shooting 3-point arrows too. So I mean, it's really we feed off of each other's energy. The whole team
That's dope.
feeds off of her energy, and she's really just like a great coach to be
That's
around.
dope.
In practice, she's honest. She wants it just as bad as we want it. I always call her. She's my second mom.
That's dope.
Whether I need anything, that's my favorite.
That's
She's
what's
cool.
up. All right, Maury, and through this transition, you're at a new location. You're at Franklin High School. So going into this now, what's going on? What you trying to accomplish?
Um, for me, it's different because everything's new to me. It's a new coaching
Mm-hmm.
staff like that just got hired, new players and everything. It's definitely different from a Kachi. I feel like this will help me as far as being a leader because now it's kind of like it's not as much um talent that it was at McClatchy. So now I feel like I have to help everybody else become better.
Yeah.
And my biggest thing now is I'm just trying to get everybody else involved because some girls might not be as passionate, or some girls might not have never had a person as passionate on their team. So my thing for Franklin is just getting everybody else involved and helping the coaches out because they're new just like I am.
Okay.
So it's easier for me to help my teammates on the floor than they have to do it from the sideline.
That leader role. That leader role. Okay.
Well, I mean, our goal is state. I mean, that's a big
Oh,
goal of ours.
state out the
Um,
gate. That's what's up. I feel it.
I mean, shit, that should be
Yeah.
anybody's goal.
Hey,
Like,
speak it into existence.
and I mean, for me, our team is so talented. And I think I just want to be there to be able to help push
Mm-hmm.
like us to remind ourselves that like that's our end goal because times will get tough during the season. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we'll have some tough games and stuff like that. But I just want to be like the a leader to be able to remind everyone like that like we have an end goal and like we're almost there. You know.
That's what's up.
Mhm.
I mean, it's so exciting to see. I can't wait to just follow along and see the films and the ups and downs, the growth, but also I think the process, right? All you guys have a process, also have a story, and you're here telling it right now as well. But I think it'll be the end result, right? So I mean, just keep going, keep your head down. Um, Kay, while we're on you being the senior, the elder statesman of the group, but also your verbal commitment to Sac State. Um, if you're able to, that process though, what was the final say so as far as coming down to like Sac stage, coming to Sacramento? How'd
Um.
that go down for you?
Well, it's kind of crazy because like I never pictured myself in Sacramento.
Yeah.
Um, but Coach D reached out to them. They liked my film. Like Coach D got me on a call with them, and they're incredible coaches.
Right.
Like they're some of the best coaches I've ever talked to and met,
Dope.
and been like I'm gonna be able to be coached by them, and that's
Good.
great. And I think the process for me committing, I was actually gonna wait till the end of AU,
Mm-hmm.
and so I went on an unofficial, absolutely loved it. Coach D's over here like, I'm ready to commit. Coach D was super excited. I was super excited. But I was like, I want to make sure this is the right decision, not just for me, but for my family,
Right.
especially because my mom's such a big part of my life, my
Love.
stepdad too. And I just want to make sure it fit.
Yeah.
So they had my mom come out on a visit. And she loved it. I loved it. I loved that she was excited for it. I love that they were
Nice.
excited for us.
Good.
And so on the drive back, I was talking to Coach D. I was like, like I really like this school, but AU's coming up like the big July
Mm-hmm.
month. But then I thought about it, and I was talking to my mom, and I was like, this fits.
It feels right.
Like it feels right. Like in my heart, I'm like, this is where
That's
I want to
good.
be. and I'm surrounded by people, like a support system. And I think that's super important because that's how, like, I'm big on family.
Nice.
So it came out of like spur of the moment. I was like, Mom, I gotta call Coach Mark,
Yeah,
right? And so I called him. I was like, I want to commit, and he was super excited for me. And it was a thrilling thing. So I'm
that's
super
good.
happy. Yeah,
Congratulations,
thank you.
congratulations. You're staying local here. You're not too
Hmm.
far from home anyway, right? You're not
Yeah,
too far of a
it's like,
ride, so you can still catch the games
hmm
and everything. So for my two on the side of me right now, Leo, start with you. Now this process, right? You get to pay you a little bit, you get a couple interest letters, if offers came up or not. But just what are some of your end goals? Because a lot of athletes get the D1 or bust thing in their head, and I believe they shouldn't. Options should be open, but also you want to be where you're, like Kay said, what's your best fit at. Am I going to get playing time? Is it the best fit for me based upon who I am individually as a person? What are you looking for just overall as you get ready to get even more in this transition? Next 2 years is going to be crazy for you, and people are going to throw offers at you. But what's a typical landing spot or type of atmosphere you would like to land in?
Well, first and foremost, I want to be a journalist when I grow up. So, having a good communications program is obviously one of the most important things that I have when I'm looking for a school. And then also just coaching staff, players, just the community that I'll be around. Obviously, my parents, making sure that my parents are okay with the school, making sure that they like the school just as much as I like the school. And also just making sure that there's an atmosphere that I'm comfortable in. Like I know personally I'm not a big city type of
Mm-hmm.
person. And so not really a big city, just kind of somewhere where I can be truly comfortable. And like Kay said, just waiting for the school that feels right, that like that's the one.
That's what's up, Mari.
The biggest thing for me is pretty much I'm really leaning towards the HBCU thing. I feel like in the generation we live in now, I feel like, I mean, this is my opinion, but all African American kids should be looking towards the HBCU thing because it's like our generation is crazy, and I feel like we definitely need to get back into that. Um, I know everybody's big on the D1 Pac-12 thing, but I'm more into like just learning about my people. You don't
Okay,
really learn much about African American people in school. A lot of history is about other ethnicities,
that's real.
and the things that we do learn aren't things that we want to hear about African Americans.
I
The
feel it.
other thing for me is just a family environment. For me, because I don't want to stay here. I want to go East Coast somewhere farther. Because AAU made me realize that that's my play style. Literally, like I love how they play in the East Coast
Yeah,
and down south and everything. So that's what my thing for. And then another thing that I'm looking for in college is being able to play. I know everybody look at the glimpse and glams of
hmm,
being Pac-12 and D1.
you want that court time.
Yeah, until you redshirted. I'm not going nowhere that I'm going to be sitting at
Well,
the bench. I want to play.
it's not a bad thing, but
Well,
at the right
yes.
spot, right? Because that way you get an extra year to grow and develop. But also, I'm glad you shouted out the HBCUs because I'm an HBCU grad and HBCU grad. But also, it's for anybody. I mean, it don't matter what your race is in, right? You can it's open to everybody. But the attention to get back down there and play because basketball is different down there too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I played in the SWAC conference down there. A lot of people I know play down south. It's grit and grimy. Is what they hoop though. You know what I mean? Shout out to Jackson State who won the SWAC last year, women's team, the males team. I believe it was Texas Southern, but I went to Alcorn, but it's definitely different. But also, you got to grow up down there. You know what I mean? But you said East Coast. I can see you at a you know what I'm saying, Morgan State, something like that. I can see you down there playing. So that's definitely good. Communications, Leah. I definitely know that already. You make this job look easy on here. I have to give me a co-host eventually. She over here killing it.
Oh yeah, I'd
Um,
say a good medical program too,
okay,
cause I want to play overseas,
bro.
but we can't play basketball forever. But I love sports. So I want to stay in the medical field, so probably like a physical therapist,
Something like sports
sports med.
medicine.
Yeah,
Okay.
so a good medical program.
So, and Kay, you're gonna jump in this real quick after this year. So, what's the major gonna be potentially for you? If you're
Honestly,
undecided, it's okay.
it's undecided, but I
Yeah.
just know I want to be involved in the basketball community, but not necessarily like in the medical side of it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just like my dream is to have my own gym.
Okay.
So maybe like architecture, engineering, something like that, where I could still be involved in it,
That's
but
what's
not
up.
necessarily be in like the medical field of it.
That's what's up. Um, but I gotta talk like struggles real quick. Just ones that you can for yourself, right? Because we always gotta give people the other side of it. As you know, Maury, I've never heard Maury talk this much in my life. But you're saying like it's different, right? The generation, you guys look at things differently. You guys see so much fame and glamour via social media and stuff like that. But what about the rough times, right? So just if you made the stuff that you're able to talk about just personally, give me an example of some time where you had to, outside of the AAU, if something else came up, we had to really like self check and say, you know what, I have to bounce back from this, or I'm struggling. What do I do next? Leah, we'll start with you. Just something personally in the game of basketball that you had to deal with.
I mean, I think it comes up probably once a month for me where it's just like I have to dig myself out of this hole. Whether it's seeing like falling too much into the social media trap of like, oh, such and such has an offer from here, such and
Mm-hmm.
such has an offer from there. And it's like, well, I want an offer from there,
Mm-hmm.
but like you don't know the back end of their story either. So I think falling into that trap and then also just falling into the trap of being too hard on myself, like basketball is a team sport. You can't come out of the game like I messed that up for everybody. Like just kind of giving myself some grace and knowing that it's a process, everything that you do. And so I think especially during the high school season, I struggle with that a lot, and just kind of giving myself some grace and being able to look on the back end of things and realize that one, social media isn't the whole world, and two, that your work is going to pay off as long as you stay committed to yourself.
That's what's up, Mari.
Yeah, like Leah said, the whole thing like seeing everybody else get, like when you know you work so hard and then you see everybody else get the recognition, it's kind of like, dang, what am I doing wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's one of the hardest things about being a basketball player is seeing everybody else get, the recognition, and it's kind of like you've been working so hard for it. But I mean, at the same, it's like sometimes it's hard to see, but then it's a good thing because for me, it's more of a motivation. Like when I see it, I'd be like, okay, I need to work harder. I need to do this or something. Um, but one hard thing for me is like, listen, I'm so hard on myself. Like I don't give myself enough credit. I would say when you expect a lot out yourself and you don't do enough, it's like it's kind of hard to accept it. Like especially when we lose, I'm the point guard, so I feel like it was a lot on me and on my end because the point guard control everything on the floor. So it's like, what could I have done better? Or how did K get enough shots? Or did TT touch the ball enough in the paint? Or did Tay get the ball enough? It's a lot being a point guard.
Okay.
For me, I think it's not talked about enough, but depression.
Mm. I was gonna hit on that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I dealt with it.
Mhm.
So my sophomore year, sorry, I might get
It's
emotional,
it's
but
okay. Good.
um,
Your
my so
teammates got your back.
my sophomore year, I lost my grandma and my sister,
Mm.
around the same time.
Sorry to hear that. It's okay. Take all the time you need. It's
You
okay.
good, Kay?
It's okay. It's all right. Grandparents are a blessing.
Facts.
Grandparents are such a
I
blessing
love
in your
my
family.
grandparents.
It's okay. It's all right. So this is mental health month, and you're okay. Take the time you need. So that's good.
Uh, yeah, it was hard. It was really rough, Um, like being like I was in the middle of sophomore, like my sophomore year basketball
Mm-hmm.
season. And I remember I broke down at
Mm-hmm.
practice. Like that shit is so tough.
Yeah,
Uh, but
definitely.
uh,
So just name a couple people who got help get you through that, because you're doing great right now. You've overcome that.
um,
A couple people who had your back or pushed you or helped
uh,
you get through that.
so my assistant coach at the time, he kind of helped me through it, and my head coach too, cause they kind of helped me through that, and I just realized like there was a point in time where I didn't want to play basketball
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Um, and like I remember when all that went down, like I didn't want to touch the ball or anything like that,
Right.
but it was I got through it, and
Mm-hmm.
I think it made me stronger. Like now I play with a chip on my shoulder for all the people I lost. Like I've lost a lot of people in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I write them on my shoe. Maricina, I got it. My shoe's filled
Facts.
up.
She was tatted up. She was
So
tatted
many
up, huh?
names. I was like, Kay, where's all you people?
But
Yeah, but
that's your way of paying homage,
mhm.
but also giving respect, right?
Yeah, and it's tough because I dealt with loss at a young age.
Uh-huh.
Like before I even knew what loss was, because I lost my father.
Mm.
Um,
Tough. You got it.
and
It's all right.
yeah, but like depression is not
Okay.
talked about enough in the sports community. I know
Yes.
multiple people who also play basketball, who have dealt with it,
Hmm.
and I think that that's something that should definitely be highlighted in the
Right.
community. But yeah, that like all of that's made me stronger
I,
and made me the person I am today. So
I definitely think coaches, no matter what level we're at, um, regardless of whatever paycheck we get, we're doing a job. It should be about the person, individual inside as well too. Check on our players, check on their parents, their families, right? Because we spend time for coaching you guys. I'm coaching y'all, whatever it is. We spend time with your coach 2 hours a day for 6 to 7 months a year. Then you got it's time, right? It's more than just basketball. And I take in my program wherever I've been at, my coaches, all my coaches I played for told me that it's more than basketball, but we more so now. This being Suicide Prevention Month, mental health awareness, all that, we should be at an all time high as far as showing support for each other, right? And I think one thing about this show that I'm learning is better, right? More people now are going to know more about you and support you, you as well, because they know you. It's hard for you not to like somebody who you know more something about, right?
Yeah.
And so, um, what about you? Just anything outside of you, the team, like anything that you really had to dig in deep and say, it could be signs of this, or I'm gotta get out of this way before it turns into something like that.
Yeah, before I answer, I just want to say I love you, Kay. I'm
That's
proud
what's
of you
up.
for saying that.
Facts, he's strong.
Yeah, I love you.
It
And
takes a lot to speak up, and especially right now, because even me and you, we haven't said many words prior to this, but I appreciate it. But also know everybody here supports you and what you're doing going forward. But also that's why you're here, I believe, because somebody else watching is probably thinking the same thing. So we hope to inspire just one, right? Because your story is amazing, right?
I think for me, it's never got too bad, but I do know I deal with a lot of anxiety, whether it's on the court or I have like a tick. Like you'll see me on a bench a lot of time, and I'll bounce my legs a lot, like,
Hmm.
and then that's how you know, like, oh, I'm stressed out. And I think I've been working on it. A lot of coaches have worked on it with me, whether it be Coach Shandon or Coach L or Dante, just me being confident in myself. And it all kind of ties back to me being way too hard on myself. I feel like what I play for is so much deeper than basketball. It ties back to my family. It ties back to my cousin Terry, my uncle Donald, and I mean, just kind of being able to tap into that. And like, so I feel like when it's like, oh, it's just a game, like, first of all, that's the worst thing you could tell a basketball player, is that it's just a game.
Literally,
Because
that made me so mad.
I mean, all of us have our different reasons
Yeah.
why we play that we tap into.
Yep.
Like for me, it's so much deeper than basketball. And so I think just when I take it so serious and I look at it as this is a business, this is my way
Hmm.
to support my family, is when I stress over it a lot. And it's whether it's I'll be up late nights crying, I'll be bouncing my leg on the bench, or just breaking down in the car. I think just being able to take it less serious, and
Yeah.
people supporting basketball players and understanding that like it's really, I know it's not life or death, but
Hmm.
when you're in the moment and in the heat of it, it really feels life or death. And so like just
Yeah.
being able to support what we're going through kind of.
No, I definitely agree. Also though, as you get older, as you ladies both get older and mature, I mean, trust me, I don't even think I was to your extent early on, but I just love the game. I would do whatever. But as you do get older, I mean, that statement is true. But once you find your alternative motive outside of that, like, oh, I want to make sure I'm mentally or healthy to spend time with my family or spend time with my little brother or whatever is my whoever is around still, okay, I still love basketball, but I'm adjust a little bit differently because that ball, I can put that down and still
Yeah.
be okay, right? But right now you guys are in it, so I get it. Yeah, I get it. But also if you can just find that time, that feeling early so you don't put yourself in that spot more often, be a little more less stressed, a little bit. But
Yeah.
also I know you're a gamer. I've seen you in that moment. I've seen like it's okay. You don't gotta make everyone. So just realize like, okay, still is a game. However, this is your tool, which I get, but also you don't want to put it on you because you have support. You guys have people around you. Use us because as youth, I don't want to see you guys go down. You know what I mean? Like, so that I'm not knocking your passion because I rather always have a player or somebody tone it down than have to turn it up.
Yeah.
And you always turn it up. So I'm feeling that. Maury?
I would say for a lot of people who are not non-basketball players, or like even parents, or like your support system, people don't really understand that basketball is a very draining sport. mentally, physically, like it's like you're on your body, your mind, everything. So I feel like a lot of people, when people just say it's just a game, it's kind of like you guys don't understand the work that it takes to put in, you know, the sacrifices, your life. Because when you're playing basketball, you don't really have an outside life. It's
Mm-hmm.
really just basketball and basketball only. And I would say one thing that a lot of coaches are not into their players. A lot of kids, like Kay said, a lot of kids go through stuff. I wouldn't say it got to depression, but every kid can reach that moment that they didn't want to play basketball no more,
Yeah.
just due to things and stuff. Like, cause I didn't reach that moment where I was like, I don't want to play no more, you know. And it took a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people had to talk to me, like, you can't do that, you know. You have a future in this, but everybody didn't reach that moment where
Yeah.
it was like, this is not for me. I don't want to play no more.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of coaches aren't invested in their players as they should be
Mm-hmm.
because they're too worried about winning and losing or making their program look good that they're not really, you know, checking on their players, as on their players. That's why I say one thing about Coach D, he's gonna make sure you're okay. Coach D, Coach L, Coach P, Coach Ember, all of them,
Mm-hmm.
they're the biggest support system you could ever have. Like, you
That's
know,
what's up.
they might not always have the answer to everything, but they're gonna make sure you're okay.
It's
That's
for
what's
real
up.
deeper than basketball. Like that's
That's the one
family,
thing that is
right?
present, right?
Right.
That makes it. But you can go out there and run through a wall for somebody who you feel got my back no matter what
Right.
Facts.
outside of these lines, right?
And that's why they be like, well, you play so hard. It's like, because when you play, you're going to play hard for somebody that you know got your best interest. And I
Right.
know that they have my best interest. So I'm going to
Right.
go out and do 110%,
Dope.
bust my butt, you know?
That's
That's what I say is different about Team Militant and is why we're all so tight. Like whether it's the girls or the coaches or just everybody that's ever been involved, it's so tight knit because it's like we really have gone through it all together and never has it been us falling apart no matter what. It's always been a family.
yeah. I mean, adversity builds character, and no matter what we do, life, school, work, relationships, whatever y'all get ready to get into, all that stuff going on, it's ever present. Um, we talking about mental health. Just there's a lot of support out there for everybody, right? So I just want to encourage all you guys or your friends, if you guys have teammates, to tap into the resources. If you don't have to verbalize or kind of talk that yourself, right? It's support systems out there for you guys. So reach out, myself, or especially on the page. I just posted a episode of somebody again. This young lady lost her brother to suicide, her uncle as well. So she's been through it, but also she's a resource advocate now on the podcast. Tap in, like I said, because again, I may not have all the answers, but I want to try to lead anybody and you guys to that area, man, and just make sure we reach as tools right now. Because I mean, I want to see all you ladies win. You know what I mean? Because it's bigger than that, but it's like you said, that life thing. Life after basketball, you guys are gonna be good business women or good, you know, if you're gonna be a doctor, whatever it is, if you're gonna be on TV, ESPN, which I know you will be one day. You're gonna be doing your thing in the gym. Mara, you too, like in the mega field, but also it's like we got to be able to patch things up on the way. Because if you carry that with you, you know, it's like you don't want to dig a bigger hole or have it affect you like that. Um, how excited are you guys right now? Like I said, things go well, just to get opportunity to get on the floor with your high school group now. Because I know high school basketball is not as important these days as like it used to be. To me, it was everything. AAU was just coming up. You had to be somebody high level to get picked on AAU team. Now it's switched around. But what about your high school program? What you got going? Where's your vibe at right now? What level are you on?
Man, my high school team, this might be one of the teams that I've been most excited to ever get on the court with
Okay.
ever since I've played basketball. Between the new people that we got coming in, the work that I've been seeing my teammates put in the off season,
Oh,
the hours that I know Coach Shandon has been putting in behind closed doors to get us a really good schedule and to get us all looks. I'm just so excited to get on the floor. We've been putting in so much work and it's gonna be crazy. I stay tuned to CB
yeah,
basketball,
she be
okay?
sitting there looking at rubbing their hands together. So, Mario, again, we talk about your new situation, but just for you, just how excited for you personally, get on the court though. Like I said, because you've been enjoying a good run this summer, a good level now,
I
another
mean,
level.
for me,
What's to
I
come?
don't care
What's to
if Steph
come?
Curry was on my team. I'm just happy to be on the court again.
Okay.
And I'm trying to hit that 1,000 points. So you feel me? I gotta drop a 30 ball
Period.
every game.
She's a 30 ball.
But I'm excited. Definitely.
I feel you.
It's a new team, and
Yeah.
it's definitely like I feel like I'm going back towards my Sutter days because it's one of those type of
Uh
teams
oh.
again,
It's all good.
like a Sutter team. You
I
know,
feel
I
it
got
out.
my shooter, so
Okay.
it's definitely different. But I'm looking forward to it and being able to play again because I didn't get to play my sophomore year. So just being able to be
Hmm.
back with a high school program is just fun.
That's what's up. Okay. I know you said state though. So we
I'm
talking state open or what?
we'll see.
Okay.
I mean, I am thrilled. Like, this is my first real season with Salesian. We had one last year, but it was kind of like half of us were in, half of us were out because
Okay.
AAU. Like we were all kind of a little sad that there was no league championships or
Yeah,
NCS or
I
state, you
believe it.
know. But like, I believe in those girls so much. Like, it's crazy how talented they are. And I'm super excited to play with them. So I'm just I'm thrilled to be on the court with them.
All right. So as we get ready to close, um, I'm gonna give a shout out to all the sponsors for me real quick. The people who've been just looking out for the show. If you got a brand or something out there you want to wear, man, shout out to Grind Crazy with the gear, man. Like I said, just trying to promote people locally or wherever you at, man. Shoot me a line, man. I love the care packages. I put the gear on the shirt. We'll shout it out. Um, all the sponsors, everybody who's been supporting me through this, and just keep going. Try to be consistent, level up, and locally too, man. I'm trying to take over SAC and highlight ladies, men, boys, whatever it is. So everybody out there keep tapping in with me and just follow the podcast page 94 Feet with Coach JT. Hit the website, everything. Man, I got a pre-sale starting today. When I go home tonight, the pre-sale will start. Got some merch, man. Y'all grab some merch, man. I'll post it on IG. I'll send you the link. It's in the bio. Before we leave, I always ask everybody for the triple threat. So in basketball, it's drill, pass, shoot. Um, Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Drill, pass, shoot the ball. But just give me a triple threat, Leah, for you in life, though. It don't gotta necessarily be in basketball. Just if you could influence a young lady, young man, somebody watching, and give me your triple threat, what would it be? Three things that you hold your hat on that you're gonna carry with you from now going forward.
Um, I would say work ethic, attitude, and play for your legacy or live for your legacy.
Okay, Maury.
I would say the biggest thing, my biggest goes out to all those small guards out there. Don't let nobody tell you that you're too small or you're not good enough because anything is possible. Remember, size doesn't matter. And I would say three things that I'll tell anybody is don't ever let anybody take you out your character or your element. Always be your best player and don't let it coach to you otherwise. The second one I would say is just put the work in. It's gonna pay off eventually. It might not be what you want, but you're still gonna get some type of benefit or repercussion out of the situation. And the third thing I would say is like Leah said, play for your legacy. Not even just your legacy, play for yourself. You can't always play for everybody else because everybody else is not gonna play for you. So just play for yourself.
Okay.
My triple threat definitely work ethic. Like, you got to put in the work to be the best. Keep your doubters like on your hip, honestly, because that's such a motivating factor. Like for me especially.
Mm-hmm.
Like, prove them wrong. Honestly, like, what's not to say that you can't do what they doubt, you know? Um, and then just believing in yourself. Honestly, you can do anything you put your mind to as long as you work hard and you put in the work. So just believe in yourself and it'll take you far.
That's what's up. So from Christian Brothers High School Team Militant, Franklin High School Team Militant, all the way from Salesian High School Team Militant, man. This is Coach JT. I appreciate you guys listening. Thank you, ladies, for coming out.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Nothing but the best going forward. Keep working, keep grinding, stay positive, keep your head down, and just, you know what I'm saying, 10 toes down and just grind. It'll pay off. It'll pay off. It'll pay off. Now, when nobody knows that, right? But if you don't do it, you don't get that. You don't know what's gonna happen. But if you're putting the work in, it'll come to you. So, like again, I appreciate you and thanks to all your parents for letting you stay out late on the school night, or a little bit, somewhat late. All right, again, man, hit me on the website, 94 feet with Coach JT. All levels, platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Man, hit me because this is growing. This is gonna keep bubbling, and we'll keep highlighting the local talent, the local teams, local players. I might have some football stuff for the next. So y'all be on the lookout for the next show, man. I might have some top football kids in here next. You never know, man. Again, this is Coach JT, 94 feet, signing off. Peace.